Hello, everyone, and welcome. Lovely to see you all, those on the Zoom, and welcome to those watching the live stream or the recording. I'm, as you may notice, in a hotel room in Cambridge, in England, just being near my mum, who's not been well lately. So that's why the environment's a little bit unusual here. Yeah, so each week, we do these weekly Zoom satsangs on Wednesdays, same time every week. And it's really a very sweet moment where we can just stop and rest and be with whatever is here. And I like to start by just getting a sense of who is here, because we don't have actual dialogues in this half an hour session. I do that in longer sessions. But in this weekly touch in, that's kind of what it is. It's like we touch base somehow. Um, we don't actually have any interaction, but I like to just get a sense of who is here by maybe you can type in the chat a word or two or a sentence maximum about how you're feeling or what you're bringing here today in this moment. If there is something, no pressure, you don't have to write anything, but just to take a moment to acknowledge what is here for you right now. And also for me to just get a sense of who is here with me. Yeah, so just give you a minute if anyone feels like doing that. Lisa, relaxed and fulfilled. Nicole, peace, though feeling tired. Christina, grateful. Vibhuti, sleepy. It's 5 a.m. in Australia. Happy to be here with you. Nice you could make it at 5 a.m. Okay. Someone else, right? Oh, I missed some things. Oh no, that's from last time. Sorry, I'm reading the last ones. Jean-Marc, tired. Okay, great. Oh, and Christina, and deep longing. Thank you. Patrick, good evening. I have no clue how it is, enjoying being here. Wonderful. Yeah. Okay, well, let's start by we just take some time to be with what is here. So let's close our eyes, get comfortable, and we can close our eyes. Start by taking a few deep breaths into the belly. Just settling here now on this seat, feeling the back of the chair or the feet on the ground. Noticing how you just start to settle in this space that we're creating together right now by just coming together with this intention to just meet what is here together, right? It is something, of course, you can do alone, but when we come together, it is very supportive. So just settling into feeling this support of our togetherness right now. And then in that sense of support, noticing what is here right now for you. What sensations, emotions, feelings, whatever it is for you. You're just acknowledging it just as it is. And if there are thoughts, we notice them too. These thoughts, they don't have any more importance than anything else. It's just something else to notice. And if thoughts become somehow too important or start to fill the space more and more, we just gently bring our attention to a present sensation or a sound, feeling. And as we are noticing and meeting, being with whatever is here in your direct experience, there is simultaneously the knowing of it, which is how you know that this sensation or whatever is here is happening, because there is the knowing of it, the awareness of it. But usually we are putting all of our attention on the experience. And right now, we could just turn the attention to acknowledge the awareness of even the attention. It's really not so possible to even put our attention on this awareness. Really, it's just about taking a step back, somehow zooming out, or even noticing that you, in fact, are always zoomed out. You are this awareness of it all. that is aware of the sensation of sitting here, feeling however you feel right now. And that awareness of it all includes and contains everything that's happening right now. It is, in fact, unconditional love that meets whatever is here without exception. And as we acknowledge this unconditional acceptance, love of whatever is here, you may notice that this body, mind is touched by that in some way. It is in some way nourished by this recognition of the container of it all. Then you can start to take some deeper breaths again into the belly. Feeling the contact with the seat, the ground. And then when you're ready, we can open our eyes. So each week I speak about a different theme based on a question that someone's asked when you've registered or emailed us. So this time I want to speak about self-love. We often are a little bit confused about self-love, so it's quite a good subject to get a little bit clearer about, I feel. Perhaps we start thinking about self-love because we feel in some way not lovable, that there's something fundamentally wrong with me and I'm not worthy, or in some way not lovable. But then we're told, or we think it's a good idea for whatever reason, to start loving ourselves. Now, I remember for myself when I was probably a teenager or a young adult, and I felt very unworthy and insecure and was very hard on myself. And people said things like that to me. You just should love yourself a bit more. And I know they meant well, of course. But at the time, I remember trying to do that. And when I tried to do that, I just didn't know who to love and how. So, who is in here to love, right? And then what does it mean even to love myself? How to do that? If it was possible, or if I could do it, I would have done it, right? I wouldn't be wallowing in feeling so bad about myself. So this just confused me. And I feel that this perhaps is a confusion that many people have. And perhaps we try to love myself by believing that I am me, I am some kind of person, maybe all the negative qualities that we've been believing in. So then we try to change those negative qualities into positive qualities or lovable qualities by just telling ourselves that those negative things are not true and that in fact we are much more lovable than we have believed. And maybe this works to some extent temporarily. It's basically changing negative thoughts to positive thoughts. And every time we try to do that, we have to remember to make that effort to change the negative thoughts into positive thoughts. And of course, positive thoughts will be more pleasant and happier and better to have than negative thoughts. But it still doesn't really get to the root of the issue. And the issue is who? Who is here? Because when I try to love myself, right, I've got two, me and myself. And who are either of those? So the me that is trying to love the myself, the me is a thought that is trying to help, right? It's trying, it has a good intention, right? It's trying to make things better, to take the pain of feeling so insecure or unlovable and bad. It's trying to take the pain away and make it better. It's a kind of protective mechanism. But essentially, we can just call it a thought. The thought, me, I'm in control, I can do something to change my reality. And I'm trying to change myself. Who's that? Another thought, right? Because when we really try to find who am I in here, right? Or there. What do we find? We can ask ourselves the age-old question, who am I? And the thinking will come up with a million different possible answers. Being all kinds of types of person, or with all kinds of different qualities, with different history, different ideas for the future, different sensations in the body, different feelings, emotions. But who do they belong to? Who is here? Who can be loved or can be anything? And when we don't refer to any of those thoughts, any of those ideas about a me, then there is simply the question. And no answer, really, because any answer would be another thought. There's no answer. It's just this space. Even that is too much of an answer, right? It's not even silence. It's even beyond the word silence or even the experience of silence. As soon as we put a label on it, it's not that. So the bottom line is that there's no one here to love. So this is why this is very confusing, to try to love myself, and yet there's no self here. And there's no one to even try to do that in the first place. So then what is true self-love? Well, after being so very confused for so many years about this question myself, I'm very happy to say that none of that effort of trying to love myself is necessary. That actually true self-love is, first of all, in recognizing that there is no one here, and that is not a problem. That's not a gap to be filled. It doesn't mean something negative. Just because there's no one here, it doesn't mean that no one is somehow worthless. It's not even full of worth. It's empty. It's empty and full of what is, whatever is now. So if what is sitting here feeling a little tingling sensation in the chest, looking, sounds, breath, sensation of sitting on the chair, sensation of swallowing. This is what is right now. Meeting what is, whatever it is. Meeting what is moment to moment as it changes moment to moment. Knowing that it couldn't be any other way. It shouldn't be any other way. It is exactly as it must be, because it is. This is true self-love. Not moving 1 inch away from this right now. And away would be believing in those me stories again. Although if those happen, they are also included. It's not that those thought stories are wrong. We can even love those thought stories, or in other words, meet them as they are. Because when we meet them as they are, we acknowledge that they're just thoughts. They're not really me. There's no separate me thinking those thoughts. It's just a thought popping up, popping up, popping up. In who I am as love, love itself. Love that loves itself always, no matter what. So no effort to try to love myself is needed. In fact, it's the opposite. It's seeing where I am making effort to be someone, noticing that, feeling the sensation in the body. How does it feel when I am trying really hard to be someone, or trying to even love myself? There's a sensation of tension and contraction, or however it is for you. When there's this effort to try to be someone, or to love myself. So we just notice that sensation of effort. And that is met too, that is loved too, because loving myself is simply meeting myself, noticing whatever is here as myself in this moment. Even if it's an uncomfortable experience, I meet it. It is also included. There are no exceptions in love. So this is true self-love. So we're almost at the end of our time, so perhaps we can just end with, if anyone wants to write another word or two in the chat, how you're feeling now after this half an hour together. If you feel like and in the meantime, I'll just tell you that on the 19th of April, I'm starting a 6-week journey, online journey, with the theme Finding Safety in Uncertainty. And it's really about something very similar to what we've just been speaking about, because true safety is the same thing as true love. So I'd love it if some of you would join me, or all of you. It's a time where we go a little deeper, and there'll be time for dialogues and exploring this theme in a lot greater depth. Yeah. So we have Christina. Oh, no, sorry. Lisa wrote quiet, Vibhuti, present, and gratitude. Christina, no words. Peter, at ease. Nicole, thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone. See you next time, next week. Okay. Lots of love. Bye.